host options and mute themselves. Okay. June. It's almost like we're looking at each other.
Yeah.
We're looking at something in
In the sky.
nowhere. So that's what I look like from the side.
You can let Ann in.
Should I let her in?
Yeah.
All right.
She complains if you don't.
And
She doesn't have a camera, so we won't be able to see her. You don't have, do you have a camera on your computer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do on my laptop, but not on my desktop.
I guess I don't have to. So what I'll do is I'll sign in.
And then when it tells you you're spelling a password wrong.
I
It's like,
know.
what?
It's so frustrating. So we got that one. And bring up subdivisions. Doug. Reports. That.
I've debated about trying to take minutes on my computer. I'm just not confident in doing that. Unless I have Word on my computer. Oh yeah, here we go.
There's the staff report.
Yeah, I've got that saved.
Okay, good.
As I put together the packet.
Bring up the. Any participants. It's good to be actually on time. Usually I'm in a scramble to get things ready.
I know, I agree. I like to not sit here and Rick say, just let me know when you're ready. It's like, I am ready, Rick.
Yeah, I think everything I have on my laptop, I can actually get through that.
We get a link sent out to Outlook through Outlook.
Just this afternoon.
Okay.
Well, I printed one off. I left it on the pen. But Felix signed into Zoom and he's recording.
Are we ready?
Do we have Tammy and Felix? Do they have an item as well?
I think so, yeah. No, Felix.
Everybody's had so many meetings today.
Yeah. And was running from the commission to here.
You're ready from commissioners or?
Well, the commission chambers, no commissioners were there. So. You have.
Nope,
I'll be nice.
Felix will though. He signed in. I know, you have to have a piece.
That guy.
Yeah, we want Steve in.
You have a packet.
So Rick, are we not doing staff meeting tomorrow, or are we pushing it because of the?
Got a 9 o'clock, huh? We may skip staff meeting, but the problem is we may not have staff meeting for 2 weeks because I have Friday off, but my gut feel is my wife's gonna ask me to take Thursday off to help get ready, and I'm
Oh,
trying to keep my
yeah.
nose out of it. So,
Big day.
so I haven't.
It's like I have a very important meeting.
a meeting. But yeah, we may not have staff meeting tomorrow.
Maybe I should just figure out a different.
Hopefully.
I can go let her know.
Okay.
You can let Tammy know.
Yeah.
I think I have Adobe on this computer.
Watch the Aggie basketball game while we're waiting.
They've got it. Who are they
Maybe.
playing?
They are playing Air Force right now,
They should be Air Force, right?
hopefully.
That's interesting. Colored court.
Yeah,
The dark brown.
and a light rain.
Yeah.
Are they in California or are they in Las Vegas?
They are in Las Vegas.
Everybody's in Las Vegas. Well, BYU's not there.
Are they playing?
They're eliminated.
Oh, they were? Who'd they
Yeah.
play?
They lost to San Diego. I
Oh,
think.
okay.
So. They're on the bubble.
Oh, of getting in.
How's Utah State as far as?
They
that
will
goes?
not get in unless they win their tournament. So,
Uh,
and right now they're up against Air Force 47-35 with 14 minutes left.
How many more games, what series are they in?
This is first round.
Oh,
So they still got a lot to basketball to play. I mean, to keep winning to get
yeah.
there, which I don't think they will.
You never know. I really think anybody can beat anybody on any given day.
That's true. That's true. But I'm not
Just
quite,
depends on what team shows up.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good teams in the Mountain West this year.
See, what they need is they need some of the Aggie crowd to come down here.
I
Be
know,
the convincers.
exactly. Jody and I, usually we go down and this year we're not, so.
And so it'll be your fault.
Exactly, exactly. No, we're good here. We're just fine.
Can I trade you for the packet? I like to try to make notes as we go through.
Yeah.
minutes in case it goes crazy and starts adding stuff
Yes.
in.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
The only reason I would like it is because I need to.
No excuses necessary.
Are they through it there? I thought I heard Gary's voice. Hey, bro.
Hey, Gary.
Oh,
yeah,
You're a
there's-
cricket in the room.
Yeah. Gary, did that meeting end up there? Kinda. Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Okay. I have. The meeting. Hopefully gonna get started here.
I like that kind of.
Okay, well, let's get started. Felix, we'll have you. We're gonna, tell me when we're ready, June.
See if I can get this to record. I know the battery's good. I don't want to set the date and time. I changed the battery, so. Sorry, now we're recording.
Okay, we're gonna call the administrative review meeting to order on the date of March 9th, 2022. We have the approval of the minutes from February 16th, 2022, and I've reviewed those and those stand approved. We have 3 items on the agenda. The first item is 2.1 LV DO12722, consideration and action on a request for final approval of the Doug Harbertson Subdivision consisting of 1 lot. And Mr. Lleverino, you're going to be presenting this item.
Yes, that's right.
Awesome.
So this is a request to break off an acre for a residential lot off a larger piece. The actual acreage is upwards of almost 50 acres. And so after what they've done is they've gone with an official plat, we've got a survey, they've broken off a 40,000 square foot lot. And for just to build a home. The properties, this property fronts off of 6700 West, which based on the transportation plan, it's proposed to be at 100 feet wide right of way. So the surveyor has made those edits on the plat. They're showing 50-foot right of way dedication from the center of that road, 6700 West. We also looked at potential for connectivity. We also looked at making sure we have the appropriate will serve letters in place. In this case, the West Warren Water District is providing culinary water. Those conditions that they've added to their final will serve letter, they're related to things that need to be fulfilled before they actually begin construction on the home.
Okay.
And so we felt it was appropriate to include it with the report. And there's also included with the report, Exhibit D shows proof of Warren irrigation water shares. With that, there's conditions that will secure those water shares to this building lot. Conditions of approval in the staff report. And we also have septic feasibility for this 1 lot from the Weaver Morgan Health Department. The system that they require is basically a packed bed media septic system with an at-grade drip irrigation absorption field. And with that, staff recommends approval with based on the conditions in the report, there's 5 conditions in there. There's also 2 findings with this.
Has the applicant agreed to those conditions?
Yes,
Okay. All right. Well, the applicant's not here, but do you know if he had any comments?
no, I talked to him before the meeting and he didn't have any comments that were specific, mostly just asking about timelines and when he could actually record. So I just gave him that information.
Awesome. Well, I am fine with the conditions that have been outlined. I'm going to recommend approval of this, subject to the conditions outlined in the staff report and the findings outlined in the staff report. And we'll move on to the next item, which actually, why don't we buy Steve a little time and we'll jump to Henry Flats. And then we'll come back to Steve. We're going to hear item 2.3, file number LVHO20720022. Thanks, Felix. Request for final approval of the Henry Flats Cluster Subdivision First Amendment located at 32.5 South, 4350 West in Ogden. And Miss Aydelotte, you're going to be presenting this item?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so a little bit about this property. This is, this cluster subdivision is located in the A2 zone. This particular parcel has an existing residence. Henry Flats subdivision, cluster subdivision was recorded back in August of 2017. The applicant is seeking to remove the buildable area from the existing lot 6 so that he can put an accessory building a little bit closer to his rear setback. There is currently still in our cluster code a rear setback, regardless of whether it's for a main building or an accessory, of 20 feet. And so we have been in discussions with him and Charlie Ewert, our long range planner, regarding a possible text amendment to adjust that so he can push it a little bit further back. He's still subject to that 10-foot public utility easement that runs back there. Water and sewer we didn't look at because there is an existing residence and he already has those utilities. But planning would recommend final approval of this based on the condition that engineer reviews and approves this prior to printing of the final plat. When this staff report was sent over, engineering hadn't had a chance to review it. And where we're just removing a building envelope, they didn't seem to have any heartburn with it, but we did ask for a written review.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. And is the applicant, you know, if they had any concerns?
No concerns.
Okay. All right. Well, it's fairly straightforward. So I'm going to recommend approval of the Henry Flats Cluster Sub, subject to the conditions and findings outlined in the staff report. Thank you.
I'll get you a copy of the staff report with that corrected typo in there for you to sign, right?
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
I'll let Steve know.
Thanks, June.
I think we have Mr. Powell at the counter.
Oh, okay.
You okay to wait for 4 or 5 minutes? I gotta present something.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next item. Last item on the agenda, 2.2 LVSO10522, consideration action on a request for final approval of the Shadow Oaks Subdivision No. 3, First Amendment, located approximately 6508 South, 2800 East in Ogden. And Mr. Burton, you're going to be presenting this.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
This is a lot line adjustment between the 2 lots in the existing Shadow Oaks subdivision.
Okay.
It's to just amend a boundary. There's a lot that has some improvements that shouldn't have been placed on this lot. They were placed on the neighboring lot. And so you'll notice the plat, they're really just adjusting the side lot line between the 2 properties.
Okay.
The building setbacks are going to still be conforming to the required building setbacks in this zone. Let's see, this. Zone being the RD Torrington zone. So we're not requiring a water and sewer letters because there's already houses on those lots.
Okay.
We just require the plat, the title report. We looked at the plat, I believe, let me confirm here at the other reviewers to see what their comments were, but I don't believe there were any major outstanding comments on these. Surveying is given approval. The health department, one of these lots is on a septic system. The health department has
Okay.
also given approval. Engineering and fire have approved. So all the review agencies have approved, and I'm recommending approval of this as well. Since it's such a de minimis change.
There's no conditions.
Let me just verify. There are no conditions. No, just the
Okay.
we recommend approval. I guess I will say based on review agency requirements,
Okay.
although it appears they have been met.
Okay, all right. And the applicant doesn't have any concerns?
No,
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna recommend approval of this, subject to all service provider comments being addressed, and base it upon the findings outlined in the staff report. And this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you, June. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
And I'll let you get back with Mr. Powell.
Service providers,
Comments be addressed.
thank you.
There's that. Okay, thank you, June.
You're welcome. Meet again.
Yes.
Did you sign any of these?
Nope.
No, do they always ask if there's a spot for it?
Yeah, I didn't see any clean copies for me to sign,
Oh.
so once I get those to me.
Oh, okay.
I'll sign
Should I print those up separately for them for this meeting?
You'll want to just change, because I added that one condition on Steve's, that all service providers, so
Okay.
either him or you'll need to change that, so I can
Okay.
sign it. Yep, thanks, June.
You're welcome.